Is it really possible for your average Magic the Gathering player to reach Mythic without spending a single penny? Today, we're going to put that to the test, starting with a fresh account and grinding the ranked ladder to see how many games it takes to reach the coveted Mythic rank. Hello everybody, my name is AJ and welcome to day number 16 of the Free-to-Play Mythic Challenge. Today is an extremely important day, as we are just one win away from reaching Diamond Tier 4. It is the last rank we need to hit before we reach Mythic. Nothing to do except get right into the ranked ladder and hopefully win our very first game. We'll show you guys the deck list and get right into it. Here is the deck list for today. It is exactly the same as yesterday's deck list. I still want to keep trying the Shelter by Ghosts and Worldsoul's Rage. I think I honestly enjoy having them both in the deck. I haven't quite missed the Ice-Till Explorer very much, and definitely enjoying the one of Terrasymbiosis. This honestly very well could be the final list of the deck, even once we get more Mythic wildcards, but it will definitely be interesting to see how the deck continues to evolve once we open those last few packs. Without further ado, let's get into the ranked ladder, and hope we can get a very good matchup for our first game of today. Well, we are on the play with a very interesting hand. It's going to be pretty impossible for them to shut down our Bristly Bill. And Bristly Bill and Tifa, honestly, on their own are something that I think have the potential to take over the game. Obviously, we need some lands off the top. At least one, so we can get our 3-drops in play, but outside of that, we should be able to get some pretty good threats in on curve, have protection for them, and have multiples in case they do get kill spelled. It's one of the riskier hands I've kept, but I know for sure that I've kept worse, especially in this climb. So we will just have to see what happens. Alright. Still waiting on our opponent. Mountain Pass is definitely an interesting start, to say the least. I think there's no reason not to slam down a Bristly Bill. If it gets kill spelled, we've got plenty more in the back pocket. I suppose this is potentially, you know, I'd like to say this is some kind of mono red aggro deck, just without a 1-drop. Very possible. I will escape tunnel on the Tifa, and then we can very quickly grow her out of kill spell range. Unless, of course, they're main decking the Witchstalker's Frenzy. Definitely possible, but I don't think they can cast that this turn. Okay. That is a good attacker for them. I think I'd like to get red mana for the Worldsoul's Rage in case we need another. We need another land drop. Sorry. Take the 1 damage from the Needlehead. Second Tifa is, I think, less beneficial for me, but I think we are fortunate enough to be in a position that I can wait for a little bit. Especially into the red aggro. It's a lot easier to be patient. Eventually, hopefully, they run out of steam. Okay. Now, I tentatively want to block one of those Nemesis, but I do worry. Okay, now with the Traveling Chocobo, if there is a land off the top, we win the game, I believe, this turn. So there'll be 4 doubles on Tifa, that should be more than enough. If we don't find a land off the top, we at the very least have the Chocobo, and we can Worldsoul's Rage next turn for Escape Tunnel. So I suppose that is the right choice. An untapped land is not as great, but I do like having Defend the Rider protection. Yeah, one land drop this time would give her 6 counters, and she would double to 28. So that should be good. So as long as we have Defend the Rider up, hopefully, with Worldsoul's Rage, we should be okay to grab our escape tunnel from the graveyard. Tifa should be big enough to win, even with just the one land drop. Okay. Definitely an interesting card. It's actually a pretty good blocker for them. I will attest to that for sure. I wish I could get this Tifa out of here, but fortunately that's not the case. We do find a land off the top, and that is actually exactly what I want to see. I think the right choice is to just kill this, grab escape tunnel, and then we can just grow Tifa. We'll get the Chocobo out of lightning bolt range just in case, but we will make Tifa more than big enough to swing over for the game. We will be able to assign trample damage so that the Nemesis can only hit us for 6. But I believe we learned in an earlier episode that them dying overrides the Nemesis triggers don't even get to go on the stack, which is a phenomenal start for us, and that game officially ranks us up to Diamond Tier 4. This is not only a huge milestone, because it gets us just one rank away from reaching Mythic, it also prevents us from demoting. We bounced around in Platinum 2 and Platinum 1 a little bit. From now on, it is impossible for us to go back into Platinum. So we have a couple games of leeway here, that if we're going to lose any games, we might as well do it now. But ideally, we'll get on a big win streak, get up to hopefully Diamond Tier 3 today, and within the next few days, we'll be able to reach the Mythic rank. Here we are on the draw for Game 2 with a very interesting hand. It's risky. It potentially does only have Mossborn Hydra turn 2. But any fetch land does give us a win con with Worldsoul's Rage and Hydra. We have plenty of ramp for whatever else we draw. So drawing lands is good, drawing not lands is good, which makes me think this hand is better than it might appear at first glance. Next week might be, against another mono red aggro. Definitely an intimidating thought, to say the least. We definitely want to try and get the Mossborn Hydra in without it getting kill spelled the next turn, ideally. Not in love with that, but it's also not the end of the world. Potentially they have another 1-drop in hand. Well, I suppose best choice is get 3 mana up and bar another kill spell. Should be able to get Mossborn Hydra out of kill spell range with the Fabled Passage. Burst Lightning comes in, that is understandable. That's unfortunate. Less damage than I'd like to be taking. Well, I suppose if they have a Lightning Strike as the last card in hand, Bristly is struggling a little bit, but anything else and he's doing okay. Let's hope that's a shock or a lightning bolt. That is unbelievably unfortunate. However, potentially we have a turn to figure something out. Truly just depends what they're able to get off. We do have a turn after this as well. Getting white mana for the Shelter by Ghosts, absolutely. Tifa Lockhart is not a bad option, but we'll play the Hydra in case we get a land, and like in case they find a kill spell, we get a land, we can Tifa and Shelter by Ghosts for a little bit of recovery. If they top deck removal, that's obviously unfortunate. This does leave us at 1 HP, but I think with the Shelter by Ghosts and hopefully a land, it's not exactly what I was hoping for. Yeah, I mean, that really is not my favorite thing at all. I'm not seeing any way we can get life here. We need to take the Hired Claw if we want to not, like, if we want to hold back the Hydra as a blocker. So, I mean, we can try it. But I think we still lose because we can block one of them. That life gain offsets the other one, but we still take the 1 damage from the show off. So, I mean, we have to trade this way, but yeah, the life gain is not enough, unfortunately. Definitely a disappointing game, but as we mentioned before, doesn't affect us at all. These are the games to test out some new strategies, but we have a little bit of a buffer. Obviously, haven't had the greatest win streaks the past few days. This is a great opportunity to sit back, reflect, take a few games to practice, and really think on our strategies and improve for when it's a lot more important. Okay, here we are on the play with a very risky hand. There's not a lot of protection against a control matchup, and it's a little bit slow for a red matchup, but I think, again, while we're at the bottom, it's a great time to test whether Symbiosis power can deserve keeping a hand like this. Third mono red aggro in a row is definitely an interesting hand, to say the least. I would prefer not to slap Tifa in when she can just get kill spelled, so I think we'll land drop and wait. I think I'm okay to wait 1 turn. Max, we're probably taking 3 damage here, maybe 4, depending on what creature they play. Leaving the mana up definitely makes me think they have a kill spell in hand. So yeah, I think, to be honest, the best choice is to Tifa, hold up, defend the rider. And then hopefully, with the 2 Mossborn Hydras left, I mean, these 3 are basically threats that they need to deal with, we can be in a decent spot. I think I am willing to defend the rider. Tifa, although maybe I'm not. Maybe I just want to let this go through. I think I'd rather keep it for one of the Hydras. I mean, the Hydra with the Terrasymbiosis I think is just a lot better. So yeah, she's a blocker, but for the menace creature she doesn't do much. And I do think I really would prefer defend the rider on the Hydra. I will play this because, again, they won't get priority once it's played until we play our land, so we'll have defend the rider mana up, and we can greed for that extra landfall trigger. See what they choose to do. Obviously, 2 1-mana kill spells in hand would be unfortunate, but a Lightning Strike is exactly what I want to see. Burns one of their bigger kill spells. We know there's nothing else they can do about it this turn. They have to take away from their turn a little bit to Burst Lightning it, which is admittedly extremely unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Yeah, no, I suppose the best choice is probably to Terrasymbiosis and Llanowar Elves. Just want to wait on a land drop so we can get some card draw. Even if the Elves get kill spelled, it's a kill spell that doesn't target a Hydra, which I think is good. Them just having the Bastronaut has been pretty great for our life total, but I do worry that without creatures or lands at hand, that this is a whole bunch of interaction that I don't have the pieces to deal with. So we will just have to wait and see what can happen. The Terrasymbiosis is really nice. It at least lets us draw into the Shelter by Ghosts. Assuming, of course, we're able to find a land to do something with the Mossborn Hydra. I suppose we will try with Bill. I suppose we'll try with the Hydra. Well, no, we'd rather Bill die than the Hydra, I think. Wow, okay. Awesome, we were able to get Bristly build a stick. I think the fact that he's stuck makes me feel a lot better about playing the Hydra. It's probably safer to wait, but I'm also scared of what he does have in hand. And so I'd like to get that out, because again, a fetch land would be phenomenal. Great pieces of card draw. Oh, Hellkite is unfortunate. Yeah, that's definitely an unfortunate card for them to have. It's kind of funny, but doubling Bill for Terrasymbiosis is definitely something I could choose to do. Although I think the right the right play might be to play the Chocobos. However, I don't think so. I do honestly think that just Bristly Billing is the right choice. I've been fighting Fabled Passage is great. Probably will wait on that till next turn. We'll keep Bill as a blocker as long as we can. I suppose Fabled Passage would be nice. It would get him out of Witchstalker Frenzy range. I suppose if that's something that he has, that's unfortunate. Oh, that does leave us pretty low. Fabled Passage is not too bad, though. Now, let's say we choose to if we choose to double Bristly Bill, it would be better to draw like the 4 cards from Terrasymbiosis. Do we want to double Bristly Bill? Probably. I think that's probably the right choice. That's probably our only choice, to be quite frank. I suppose we should have played this Chocobo first. That was no reason to do that, truly. But we'll grab our red mana. And we will double Bill for 4 cards. Nope, we're not taking this one. We're going to take the 4 from Bill. And to be quite frank, that gives us some great options. I mean, there's so many things in their hand that win them the game here. Like, they only need 1 damage, right? Yeah, Lightning Strike is exactly that. That's definitely an unfortunate game. I think we made the right choices there. I think maybe not playing that Mossborn Hydra was better. I mean, we weren't ever going to have protection for it, so the Nova Hellkite was always going to be a problem, so waiting on it I don't think solved anything. Potentially the Chocobo, just to be able to block that. Double Striker was decent earlier, rather than the 1 card draw from the Bill. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there are definitely options there, but I don't hate the way we played it. It's definitely an unfortunate loss, but we will take it in stride and move on to the next game. Here we are with a hand on the draw. One I, again, think I would like to try and keep and see how well it performs. The Shelter by Ghosts is always nice to see. Don't hate to see the Scavenging Ooze either. It's like some kind of Golgari deck, okay. The Deep Cavern Bat is not my most exciting card to see from an opponent, although it's also not the end of the world. I think they have to take Worldsoul's Rage here, and I think that's probably the worst card for them to take. But if they don't, I will just get whatever card they take back in 2 turns, kill the bat, get some ramp. Makes a decent play. I do think that that was the wrong choice for them. Like, it's the better choice, but I think it's the wrong choice, if that makes any sense. Grab white mana. I suppose I should have grabbed red mana, assuming that their Scavenging Ooze has a removal piece to it, and that's why they're doing what they do. I don't want to play Scavenging Ooze and get it killed, so I think I'm going to stick to the original plan of Fabled Passage for red. Then Worldsoul's Rage, kill the bat, get some protection, and then we can get Hydra with protection in next turn. So I definitely don't hate the situation I'm in right now. Not taking an egregious amount of damage either for taking basically the first 3 turns of the game off. That Fenrir might hurt a little bit, but again, I don't think end of the world. Alright, let's see what they choose to do. The Revenant is definitely a... well, I would say scary creature for our deck, but again, I love that we just have the Shelter by Ghosts available. And I'm almost tempted to throw that down instead of the Revenant so that they don't get their Fenrir draw. Like, I am genuinely tempted, and I think that's probably the right choice. So we're going to grab our green mana. Yes, I know we could get more than one trigger on the Hydra, but I think I want to get this threat out of here first. They don't have the ward yet, so we will steal the Revenant while they don't. And I think I'm going to save this Fabled Passage for the Mossborn Hydra when it comes in. Oh, 3, because tied. That's a mistake on my part. I didn't take into account that the Fenrir counts for itself, gives them that little bit of card draw, which is definitely unfortunate, but not the end of the world for sure. I for sure like having the ward on the Scavenging Ooze. I think having to spend a whole turn to kill a sub-optimal creature for them is definitely disappointing, to say the least. Here's where the I'd love to Shelter by Ghosts on the Hydra, but at the same time, slapping Ward 4 on the Scavenging Ooze is so great. Still then unholy, like, we need to steal that immediately. So we could Hydra, put 2 counters on it, Shelter by Ghost it away, but then they just probably kill spell the Hydra, and that's good value for them. So I am going to Shelter by Ghost. Use a second time. Take the Annex away. I think that's the right choice to make. And then I will simply land drop, and we will hold up a little bit of interaction. Be able to steal creatures from our opponent's graveyard for a little bit of life gain, or have Defend the Rider if we need to. Okay, Sultai is whenever a counter's put on, draw a card. Okay. That makes sense. Want to get some card advantage for sure. I actually think I'm tentatively willing to block with the Scavenging Ooze with Defend the Rider. Like, I think I'm willing to use Defend the Rider as a kill spell on this. That's a tough blocker. I think it does make it pretty tough. And if I'm going to do this, I might as well do it now. They can't kill it, so I'm going to... well, no, sorcery speed BS could handle me, so I think I will wait until their end step to actually steal anything from the graveyard, in case they have the... whatever it is that bones me. Okay. See what they take with the bat. I think Defend the Rider is probably... actually, I don't know what the right choice for them is. Mossborn Hydra is always decent, because that's just a good card, but Defend the Rider is pretty good too. I will take something out of the graveyard, get this ooze a little bit bigger. Yeah, we'll play the Traveling Chocobo, I think, pretty happily. I will drop the Fabled Passage, but I won't sack it yet, because I like this Worldsoul's Rage. Can kill the Honestly, don't even have to kill the bat. We can kill the wall. Anyway, we can kill the wall and just start swinging in for some damage. If they ever pay the ward 4 to kill the Ooze, I think that that is great for us. We just have to defend the Rider up. They know that, of course, now, but... Okay. Slap on 2 counters. If they do it to the bat, that feels great. I mean, I just Worldsoul's Rage for pretty much max value. Slapping on the Demon Wall is slightly, I think, better for them, but again, I'm not super scared of the Demon Wall existing. Yeah, it's a 6/6 menace, ward 1, but again, not the most terrified of it. I suppose we will Scavenging Ooze away something else, but I want to keep this Worldsoul's Rage on the top. And I think I will just pay the 1 to kill you. And then we can hopefully scrap something together with the Mossborn Hydra next turn. Although actually I do kind of like the idea, especially with the doubles from the Chocobo. No, I want to keep Defend the Rider mana up. I was thinking about sacking the passage because we don't probably need the second Hydra, but I'd much rather have it than not have it, I think. I think that's better than a pretty good chunk of the deck. Okay, another Fenrir. Oh, that puts another counter on it, so that counts for the... Okay, that's actually a pretty cool... Pretty nice combo. I actually kind of like that. I think that's a neat interaction for sure. Get a even bigger Fenrir, but I mean they go away next turn, so I'm not scared of them really at all. Get a little bit of ramp, but that's fine. Sure. That big demon wall going. Okay, well, let's play the Hydra. I think, honestly, I kind of want to greed with these Fabled Passage for an untapped land. Although, actually, no. I don't hate the idea of just slapping a second Hydra. I truly do not think they have a way of dealing with a second Hydra. And next turn, we just sack our Fabled Passages and win. Worst case, we sack one now and defend the Rider. I suppose I could have sacked a Fabled Passage now to stop them from getting those card draw. And this is perhaps greedy, but I don't see what our opponent could have that could possibly give them a victory over us here. I feel pretty safe and content right now. Okay, yeah, get your card draw, sure. Definitely sure they have some kind of counter gaining thing in hand, so I will gladly block with... Honestly, I'll just block with the Hydras. Can Fabled Passage and grow them if we need to. And Effect Land off the top is great. I mean, no qualms about that whatsoever. Sure. I am actually okay with them being on less mana. Oh, I mean, we'll escape tunnel off the top. These Hydras should get way too big for our opponent to handle, and we can push through for a nice victory. Get a surrender from our opponent. Very, very lucky, and we are able to... Or very, very lucky, we layered the wins the way we did. only at a 2-2 record, but have climbed as if we went 2-0, and we'll continue the climb in game number 5. Well, for game number 5, we are on the play with a hand that I think we have tested enough times to know that it just does not make the cut. I mean, the turn 2 Hydra is great, but without protection or something to help with it, it rarely ever feels like it sticks. And I think I'd rather go to 6, and I think I'm honestly happier with this hand. The only question is what to send here. Probably the Terrasymbiosis. I want to toss Chocobo 1, I want a Mossborn Hydra on 3, I want to have Defend the Rider. I think that's probably the right choice. Pretty happy with that mulligan decision, I think. Starting town is interesting. We will Terramorphic Expanse. Grab our white mana and end step. And hopefully Defend the Rider is decent interaction. There is not the most amount of... Curious, I mean, maybe Jeskai Control could get no more lies. That would be unfortunate, so maybe we wait on the Hydra a turn. I mean, this Chocobo on its own is putting them on a pretty short clock. It's 6 turns right now, but that quickly goes down to 3 or 4 if we're allowed to continue getting land drops. I suppose the right choice is to land drop, so we always have Defend the Rider up. I'd like Mossborn Hydra here. I'd rather them counterspell a Hydra, which we have a second of, than get a card draw piece and get enough interaction to answer this Chocobo, I think. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I mean, with a land drop per turn, they're on a 3-turn clock. With a fetch land, they're on a 2-turn clock. And to be honest, that's a chance I'm willing to take. Yeah, I mean, with this Fabled Passage, we put them on a very quick 2-turn clock. We have Defend the Rider. Might as well grab our red mana while we can. And hopefully, we should be okay. Star Cage doesn't get rid of the Hydra. They can't board wipe twice, and they can only kill spell one thing. Yeah, so we'll Defend the Rider or Chocobo, and that should be a very quick victory for game number 5. Great win against Control. Absolutely love to see that. And that is great to see. Continues our climb through Diamond, and we will have plenty of time for some more games before the end of the day. Alright, game number 6 on the play with a great hand, one that I absolutely love to see. We have a great curve, Defend the Rider for protection. Always love to see Traveling Chocobo in the hand. I suppose I would like to Llanowar Elves here, so with an untapped land we can Traveling Chocobo with Defend the Rider. Slightly risky, but with a draw and the Chocobo we have 2 chances to find it. Be some kind of mono white tokens. Definitely expecting a Shelter by Ghosts or a Get Lost at least. Well, it's not an untapped land, unfortunately. But they're not in board wipe range. I suppose I could get Pinnacle Star Caged. That would definitely be unfortunate. But we do find at least a fetch land off the top, which is very nice. Always happy to see that. And I don't hate the idea of keeping Defend the Rider. Can always change our mind if they play a card that impacts the board state in a way I'm not expecting. You know, best thing to do is always play at instant speed. You know, give yourself the most time to make your decisions. Always want to have the most information. I mean, the only reason Magic isn't a solved game, well, chess I suppose isn't solved yet, but isn't in theory a solved game, is because of the unknowns. You want to take advantage of those unknowns as much as you can. That get lost is definitely unfortunate, but I'm okay with it. I think this actually does come a point where I would like to have something other than the escape tunnel. I'd like to have something that does something with its lands. Or other than Defend the Rider, I'd actually like to have a landfaller. Terrasymbiosis is definitely not bad. Land drop first. Yeah, I mean, we can Terrasymbiosis, slap a counter on the Chocobo, draw a card, and have Defend the Rider mana up. And this feels pretty great to me. Pretty happy with where we're at. And pass the turn. And again, hopefully we should have more than enough interaction here. I mean, unless they kill spell the Chocobo twice, which honestly I'm not even that upset about, because again I have the map token to try and get a little bit more value with this Terrasymbiosis. Have the Scavenging Ooze as well, if we need to. And Llanowar Elves is not my first card to draw off the top, but I will absolutely map token on the Chocobo to draw that Mossborn Hydra. Yes, please. And then we will gladly Mossborn Hydra with a fetch land. Keep that Defend the Rider up, and hopefully this Hydra should be, even if they kill the Chocobo, we have 3 landfall triggers coming in. Worldsoul's Rage is a potential. And so I feel okay about our situation. Pretty much all I have to say about it. They take a turn off for card draw, we win. They could turn off to kill spell, we block it and win. So I suppose I will. Well, I suppose if I do that, I can't play the Worldsoul's Rage, which is unfortunate. Or don't draw the Worldsoul's Rage. That's very funny. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I'll just try and double the Hydra again. See what they'll let me get away with, but I imagine that with 2 Defend the Riders, we should be okay. Sure. Draw 4 cards. I think I'm okay with that. And that will be another victory in the books. Absolutely phenomenal start to the climb today. And we should have time for one more game before we end the video. And hopefully will get us one more win on our way to Diamond Tier 3. Okay, for the last game of the day, we are fortunate enough to be on the play. It's definitely an interesting hand. We do not get to play our Tifa on curve unless we forego the Chocobo turn 1. We have Worldsoul's Rage and we have fetch lands. It's an interesting hand. I don't know how to feel about it. I think I'd much rather get Tifa on. Yeah, I think I'd rather get Tifa on curve than the Chocobo. Also gives us a little bit more time to figure out what we're playing against, which it appears to be some kind of spider tribal. Let's grab our red. Grab white later if we need to. And I suppose we will try and get Tifa in. See, I imagine that there's going to be black in this deck, and so they potentially have some kill spells up the sleeve. And they have 2 5-color lands right now. It's great for them. Okay. We can kill the Fate Weaver, which will be nice, before they can sack it. With our Worldsoul's Rage, which I don't hate the idea of. Get the Terramorphic Expanse back in. And that should give us 5 mana for Terrasymbiosis and Chocobo for a little bit of card draw. Stops them from searching. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, Yeah, tentatively, I think I'm fine with that. We could try and swing with Tifa. Actually, I'm okay with that. I think, again, I'm actually happy to trade the Root Spinner for Tifa. And if we didn't, we push for 4 damage. That feels okay. I don't know this matchup. I mean, I don't know if Spider Tribal is a seriously valid deck or not. Oh, I suppose we needed... yeah. Well, no, the Fabled Passage. Silly me. No, let's get this in. Grab our land. I was thinking, like, how did I mess this up? I can't play the cards I want to play. I can. I'm just stupid on the end of the sequence rather than the beginning, which I suppose is where you want to make your mistakes. Rather take some time to remember a play than forget one. So many lands. I mean, it's exactly what this deck wants, for sure. And so you're getting rid of the Chocobo with a Symbiosis. I think that's probably the right choice in the short term. But what happens when I Hydra and then I fetch land? No, because I will choose to do it when I do double, so I can get 2 draws. Hopefully find some protection. Now I'll take my card draw, please. Nope, we find 2 more lands. Oh, it's the graveyard deck. Silly me with Cavero. Yeah, I should have put that together, I think. That is on me for being tired, I think. So, definitely interesting. See what they'll grab. Yeah, I mean, they want to get Cavero in for Bringer of the Gift, I suppose. Well, I am going to try and draw 8 cards. And just see what happens with that. I suppose drawing 4 cards is decent, because we do, like, if we find a Traveling Chocobo, we can double those triggers. But we can also just, we have Defend the Rider up, so we just rolled Soul's Rage for, like, 2. Grab these lands from our graveyard. And with Defend the Rider up, that should be another beautiful victory. Getting us 4 wins into Diamond Tier 4, and very, very close to ranking up to Diamond Tier 3. Absolutely lovely start to the Diamond rank. Very happy with how today went. Much, much more pleased with today than I have been with the past few days, bar day 14. I think we went on that great win streak. Absolutely phenomenal. Super pleased with today's progress. Well, today was a phenomenal day. Very, very excited to have made the progress that we did. We essentially got out of this without losing a single game. I mean, we officially had a 5-2 record, but if we went 5-0 and never played those 2 games, our rank would be exactly the same. I absolutely love losing at the bottom of the tier. I feel like it's a great opportunity to test out those hands against a higher ranked opponent without any real risk. And I think we definitely learned some things from today's episode as well. So hopefully we'll be able to take that into the next few episodes and continue with this pace of climb. See you guys tomorrow, where hopefully we will rank up yet again into the Diamond Tier 3.